story of my life. We're in the car. We're in the car. My little boy has been coughing. He had a cough, it went away for a little bit, and now the coughing's come back. But we're in the car, we're driving to daycare, just normal routine. I always give him a little bit of juice because it just makes his little heart happy, and it makes my heart happy because then we're not having a struggle in the morning. And he keeps coughing and okay, so I'm interrupting this like regularly scheduled vlog to reach out to a lot of my viewers who are in school, and they are working on certain like teacher questions. I know a lot of you have been sending me emails, and I am so flattered that you want me to answer questions for your school. It's like an ask teacher something or another, and I think all of them are just a little bit different in just some of the questions that you're asking. I'm super flattered. Unfortunately, I just don't have the time to be able to answer all of your questions. So here is what I am proposing. I want to do a 45 minutes session live on YouTube for you on Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern. So I am Eastern time, I live in Pennsylvania, so 2 p.m. Eastern. If you want to send me your questions that you have for your paper, I will answer them during this live chat basically. And then if you want to hold more questions, or you have more questions during this live chat, I will be more than happy to answer them for you. This like live chat that I'm doing is specifically for these students who are trying to get this paper done. So I want to be able to answer all of your questions. Send me an email, fill them with all of the questions that you have for your papers on this live session that I will do on YouTube on Saturday 2 p.m. Eastern for 45 minutes. So as much as I would love to sit there and just type it all up for all of you, and I do, again, I'm so flattered that you want to interview me as your teacher. I'm gonna do this live session just for you. So thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for your support and your love. And yes, I want to do this for you guys. So again, if you have any questions that you need to submit for your, I think it's either term papers or it's just some type of something that you have to submit to your professor, go ahead and send those emails out to me with a list of your questions, and then I'm going to compile them, and then I will see you guys at 2 p.m. Eastern on YouTube Live, so that we can I can get all your questions answered. So yeah, if you have any questions, email me. Bye guys, back to your regularly scheduled vlog. Stop throwing up all over himself. So I had to take him back home today, and then my husband is cleaning him up, taking him to school for me, because it was just from a cough. It was just because he was trying to get stuff out, and it just ended up making himself throw up. So he's not really sick. I mean, he's got a cough, but there's no fever or anything wrong with him. So I just got in this morning. I'm taking my group swimming today for the first time. I'm a little nervous about going swimming with them. I don't get into the water. Like, you can choose to get into water. I'm not getting into the water with them. But I'm nervous about just, one, throwing off my routine, two, making sure that I'm getting everything done that I need to get done with my kids, and then three, I don't know where I'm going today. So I'm just gonna kind of wing it, and just hopefully the kids will know exactly where I'm supposed to go. I do have one little girl that was like, oh, I know exactly where I'm going. So I'm like, yes, you're gonna be in the front of the line. Front of the line. So today's gonna be an interesting day. I did bring my Christmas tree, which is somewhere back there, so I'm gonna put that up real fast just because it'll make my heart happy. So okay, but for real though, look how cute this looks. I mean, it's so autumnal. Okay, that tree is totally not been feathered or whatever they want to call it, so, but it looks fresh. Yay! Or keep the quote, do not look down on someone unless you are helping them up. So we'll talk about that. I need to fix the green part of it, but it still looks good. Happy. Good morning. It is, what is today? Wednesday. And it's a super rainy day outside. So that's kind of a poo because that looks like maybe we are going to have recess inside and then also have to go out for swimming to the high school in the rain. No big deal, we're gonna make it through. Am I focused? I don't feel like I'm focused. There we go. No big deal, we're gonna make it through. So I did not vlog much yesterday. I did vlog like in the morning, but I got such like a bad headache. I don't know how many people out there like get headaches the way I do, but and it wasn't even a headache. I mean, they're migraines. I get migraines all the time to the point where like I don't do well. Like I'm a big baby when I get my migraines. But I think it was like a combination of I started getting it right before, but then I was on the bus and I get car sick really bad. So I was on the bus car sick, and then I go into the pool area, which is very hot, and then the smell of the chlorine got to me. So I just need to be a little proactive today in making sure that I take medicine the way that I need to take medicine. So I got home yesterday and I had full intentions of trying to get some things done, but I literally fell asleep and stayed asleep for the entire night until I woke up this morning. So feeling a little bit better. I can still feel a little bit of a headache, but c'est la vie. It's gonna be fine. Right? I am gonna start getting some things unpacked and then see what else I need to get done this morning. I made beef stew. Lunch. Hey guys. Okay, it is evening time. I came back to the school because I needed to get some things done. I got stuck in a meeting right after school, and then I needed to go pick up my younger son. So I went and did that. We picked up a pizza, we went home, we ate, and now I'm back. So I'm back at the school and I'm gonna get a couple of things done because tomorrow is the last day for kids, not of school, but for the week. So tomorrow's the last day for schools for kids for this week. We have a teacher work day, which half of it is going to be for conferences. And I really need to make sure that I have everything together that I need to have for conferences. I'm getting a little kind of paranoid, if I can say that. Like, I really am. I am getting paranoid. So I need to make sure everything is set up for that. My partner teacher is going to be out tomorrow, so I also need to make sure everything is taken care of for that. Don't have to stress out about anything. I need to make that shorter. I'm also making a bow. That's like what's happening right now. If you're just wondering, do you see the bow? I don't see it. It looks awful. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. So I need to make sure I have that together. She's gonna be out tomorrow, so I also want to make sure everything's taken care of for tomorrow. I am still doing swimming, and I think somebody like left a comment about, am I teaching swimming? I do not teach swimming. I sit on the benches off to the side while the two instructors take over swimming lessons for me. So I take the kids there on the bus. I don't drive the bus. So we get on the bus with the bus driver. They drive us to the high school. I take them out, I let them into the locker rooms, they get dressed, and they come out for swimming. I sit on the sidelines where it's very hot and it's very chlorine-y smell, and I just can't handle it. And then I bring them back into the class, bring them back to the school, into the classroom. So that is pretty much my role as a teacher during swimming lessons. So I still have swimming lessons tomorrow, and then I want to print out a couple of things, so I think I'm gonna go try and do some of that now. I also left everything a huge, hot, crazy mess on my stage because I am still trying to get my last few data conferences in for their data binders. So that's what I'm working on as well, and I need to clean up some of that mess. I also had a few people comment and ask me about Dojo. I am not a Dojo fan. I am not good at Dojo. I will tell you right now. Like, I mean, I'm okay with Dojo. I kind of contradicted myself right there. Let me start over. Okay, I'm okay with Dojo. I am not good at using Dojo, and I also take behavior in a different approach than what Dojo wants me to take behavior. I use Dojo because my district uses it, and I use Dojo for communicating with parents, and that's pretty much it. I don't bring Dojo into the whole fact, that was my kid. I don't bring Dojo into the whole, you're gonna get a consequence because I marked your Dojo. I don't do that. I don't like to add more work onto myself, to be honest. I'm just gonna be for real with you. Like, I don't want to add, I don't like the clip charts. I don't like the markings. I just don't like it. I'm not one to try to keep up with a bunch of stuff. I just can't, okay? I'm not that teacher that can keep up with everything. I like it pretty simple, okay? If I have to keep getting on to you and your name is one that I continuously call throughout the day, then that's when your Dojo ends up getting marked. Then that's when we start looking at different consequences. If I have to continue asking you and it's been continuous all week, I'm gonna send a letter home. If it continues and it persists, then we're gonna talk about detention, like a recess detention, that type of deal. But that's really about as far as I go, and it works for me, okay? I don't know why, I don't know how it works for me, but it does. Like, they're really good for me when I need them to be good for me. They're kids, they're gonna make mistakes, they're going to be talkative, they're going to be off task because they're kids. They're 9 and 10 years old. They don't understand the whole, I need to be responsible. Don't get me wrong, some of them do, they're really good about it, but a lot of the times, it's a learning process, and I understand that, and my job is to sit there and kind of talk to them and say, okay, well, why is it that we are making these choices? Now I want you to tell me, how are you going to fix this choice? That type of thing. And that's really about as far as I go, because I don't like to handle with all of the extra stuff. I like to keep it very minimalist. I like to keep things in the classroom unless it's something that I feel like needs to be contacted by a parent, or it needs to be addressed with a parent or with someone else. That's it. So I do use Dojo. I use it very sparingly. I don't use it very often. I'm not the best at using Dojo. I will say that my partner teacher and I are trying to get a little bit better about it, especially with turning in assignments and just behaviors that, I mean, we are really good about that, just with behaviors having to constantly tell them something over and over again. That's when we, you give them 3 warnings, you get a mark. Simple as that. I mean, that's pretty much as simple as it's gonna get. And then when you don't have a mark or anything, we mark it as a good thing. But we don't use it based off of you're gonna get a reward or you're gonna have a consequence within the classroom. It's more of a communication tool for parents, so that parents can see how their children are doing during the day. And that's really about it. I feel like everything else can be handled within the classroom through discussions, through, sitting down and brainstorming and thinking of some strategies that they can use. And if it persists, that's when we take it a little bit further. But we have not had any of those issues. So, I mean, I don't know. It works for us. It works very well for us. And I feel like it's just that part of building that classroom community that makes everything work. I don't know. I honestly believe it's our classroom community that makes everything work. So my kids are working on leveling up in summarizing. I've taught plots. They understand. Majority of them understand. Those that are still not understanding, they're going through a small group instruction again on it. Everyone else, sorry, I'm gonna put you down. Everyone else have a pretty good understanding of plot. Now we're just trying to apply it to our actual reading. So we are moving on to traditional literature. So here, and I know there's a typo somewhere in this little general area, just ignore that, okay? I'm awful at typos. Okay, so it gives them their instructions, and then they're going to follow the little map, gaining stars on their emojis to be able to earn a bigger emoji for one of these. So it would be, this is summarizing traditional literature, so they would get the emoji sticker for summarizing traditional literature there. So I have some who are starting to work on this little map. And I told them, okay, now if we're doing traditional literature, I'm going to set out some picture books so that you can use those to complete your tasks, like your plot maps and being able to apply some things. They're also going to have some things within Schoology. They're also going to have things within small group, exit tickets, that type of thing that I can quickly just assess and just check to make sure that they're still understanding it. So what I did is I set up a bunch of my traditional literature fairy tale books up over here, and then where that way, yeah, it's over there that way. My little file cabinet that's back there in the back, at the very bottom, it has file folders. Let me show that to you. Okay, so here is where we have our word studies. And then here is where they're going to start having some resources to be able to complete the things that they want to complete. I gotta take that off, just ignore that, no big deal. Okay, so one of them would be their story map. So if they want to complete the story map, they can come and grab the story map over here. If they want to complete a plot summary, they come and grab this over here to be able to complete it. So now they are going to have complete access to this file cabinet, and as we're getting different tools to help us complete certain tasks, it's going to end up over here. I feel like this is like sticking, like these things keep falling out. It's driving me crazy. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. So that is what I'm doing, and so far they're loving it. I had kids that were so excited about working to get their emoji stickers. They were, I mean, they were beyond thrilled. So they were like, okay, so they started grabbing their books, they started working on their plot map. It was fantastic, fantastic. And I did some things that were different with their data binders back there. I decided to do something with taking their work in progress folder, and I kind of flipped it around and just hole punched it and stuck it inside of their binder so that they're constantly keeping their binder with them. I want them to get into the habit of pulling out that binder, looking at that word study, looking at the work in progress, and looking at their goal, making sure that they're saying, okay, these are the things that I need to focus on and work on during my independent practice. And it's going to take time, it's going to take work. I'm hoping that I can get the majority of them used to it by January, so that in January everything's starting to kind of roll. It's when you start to feel like you have a really well-oiled machine and you're like, yeah, everything's kicking now at this point. It takes a lot of us until January to get to that point. So I'm really hoping that in January we will be at that point where they are a little bit more independent and they are taking some more initiative in their own learning. So that's really exciting. You want to see my hot mess? I mean, like, this is where I've been teaching my small group. I've been sitting right there with all my junk around me, and the kids have been like right here. You like my shoes? And this is like literally where I've been sitting down and working. Small group area. It's not very neat, but it's okay. I like it. It's my space. Tomorrow is day 1 on the cycle, so I do have a meeting in the morning. I need to get my morning message up, get our whiteboard message up, clean up some of my stuff, and I would like to go ahead and start printing some emoji stickers. I have looked for this little bitty case that my partner teacher has, and I can't find it anywhere, and it's driving me crazy. Throwback. Woo! Almost fell. Almost did a throwback. That's right. Okay, so I want to give you another tip that you can use in your classroom that will help with anchor charts. I don't like to have a ton of anchor charts everywhere. I like to keep them for a small amount of time and then I have more anchor charts, and then I'm like, okay, now where do I put these anchor charts? You just don't have the space in your classroom. And I know a lot of people struggle with what to do with their anchor charts, because you still want to keep them so that students are referring back to them. So let me tell you a couple of different things that I've done. I've tried the clipping them together and keeping them all together, and kids can flip the chart up to look for the one that they're wanting. And then I've also tried the I'm gonna roll them up and put them in a really pretty little basket, and then kids can come out and unroll them. It becomes a hot mess. Either way, they, you know, the one that's on like a clip together, they start tearing because kids are pulling at it and it drives you nuts. And then the ones that are in the basket are no longer nice and neatly rolled up, and you're like, but why can't you roll this? So here's what I do. I like to take a picture of it, and then I stick it in a very not so very pretty anchor chart binder. And so as I am teaching certain things and I'm revisiting certain skills, I will actually pull out this binder and I will refer to these. Now, here's the extra little thing that I do with it, because it just makes my life a little bit easier. I will take a picture of my anchor chart, print it out, and then I make a few copies. Because as kids are struggling with something, I can give them the copy version and say, keep this with you inside your folder and reference it as you're working. And then that's going to help them with getting whatever it is done. And then two, you don't have a bunch of anchor charts floating all over your room. You don't have stuff that's just making a huge pile. You tuck it away nice and neat in a little binder. You stick it out where everybody can see it and get to it, and then you're done. So super easy, quick tip that you guys can easily do inside of your classroom. Mine's not, I don't even have a label on it. Like, it's not even cute, okay? But my kids know where it's at. They can get to it. They can access it. I can access it when I need to refer back to it when I'm talking with the student. So it just works. It's perfect. I like it. It's not as messy. And then I can chunk the charts later. I'm not one to like to laminate my anchor charts either, because I feel like with laminating your anchor charts and then reusing them year after year, you're losing that authenticity of building it with your kids, and your kids having some type of a say when they're building the anchor chart. And then you're like, but I want to teach them the same thing every year. I get it, but you also want to guide them. It's almost like, you know, when you have that boss and you really want that boss to have this, you really want them to get with your idea, so you have to try to make them think that it's really their idea. It's kind of like that. You want to make them think that it's their idea, but you're guiding them along the way to come up with what you want them to say. So every year I do this. It works out perfect. I refer back to it. It's a great way to pull these out and then reference to them later on. So if you are having issues with anchor charts, try this out and then let me know what you think down below. I'm ready to go. It's getting late. It is now the time that I pretty much just said I was going to call it quits, whether or not I got things done or not. So I'm calling it quits. I really hope that you guys got something out of this video. I really wanted to show you the emoji stickers, and I didn't get them printed. Hopefully if I remember and I can show you when I get home and I print them when I get home, I'll show them to you. So I'll put that little clip somewhere here. Okay, if not, then I'm just going to show you tomorrow. So I'm going home. Tomorrow's the last day. We have a pause meeting together with the whole entire school, which is big. You know, it's that everyone gets together as an entire school and we have a morning meeting, basically. It's really awesome. The kids really like it. The activities I think are amazing. And then we're doing something kind of special for one of the veterans that are in our school. So that's going to be really nice, and I'm really excited about doing that. But yes, Friday we have conferences, so getting together some of their file folders for that so that I have it all nice and neatly organized. I've kind of written out my schedule as far as which parents are coming during what times. It's going to have a spot for them to be able to sign in, and then I have each folder in the order that they're coming in with their conference form, their question form that they sent back to me, and then any other files that I feel like I needed to add in there, and it'll be attached with their data binder so that I can use it as a reference. But yeah, but that's pretty much it. 15 minutes, they're gonna go boom, 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 super quick, done. I'm excited to be able to meet with parents, showing them their progress and getting to know them just a little bit more. That's always a really a great time that I feel like it's a great opportunity for me to be able to connect with parents. So excited about doing that with them on Friday. And then I don't really have any plans this weekend other than hopefully doing another breakout box with Ian before I can kind of get it into the classroom. My hope is to get it in the week of Thanksgiving. So doing something kind of fun for Thanksgiving week, because I teach Monday and Tuesday, but not Wednesday. I teach Monday and Tuesday. So I want to make sure that Monday and Tuesday we do something kind of fun and exciting. And I figured a breakout box would be the perfect time to be able to do that. So I am going to let you guys go. I hope you are having a phenomenal, phenomenal week. If not, smile. You are fantastic. You are wonderful. You are going to do a great job today, tomorrow. And smile, because it's infectious. And I think smiling can really change your day and be positive. So there's my little, like, you go girl or boy. Stay positive. The weekend is almost here, and then you can get some rest up so that you are not so exhausted. I always get exhausted towards the very end of the week, but I am going home. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to give it a thumbs up, share it out, subscribe, and I will talk to you guys really, really soon. Bye.